Times, man. We got motherfucking Onlyfans models and their mothers having interventions. Let's get to it.
My mom kind of just left because of what I do.
The Onlyfans creators and their moms. Last generation and the new generation. Wow. This is kind of crazy. Even the way they're dressed is different for I don't know, I was just looking at I'm just taking a peep for like all three of these ladies got on like blouse type material. Shawty even got on a jacket. She got her Louis scarf on. Yeah, just different.
The first prompt is: parents have a right to feel disappointed about their child's OnlyFans career. Can the Greer step forward?
Sheesh. Bro, why she just standing there still? She don't even want to be there. She still look pissed. I'm crying. Yo. White Pass is
So
pissed.
my name is Maya. Hi, and also my mother is here in the white. Love you. I do believe that parents are allowed to feel disappointment, but I think there's a difference in being able to feel something and being able to act on it. Support means loving your child and allowing them to do something despite your disappointment.
I go myself.
And that is the definition of support.
Or Sophia.
Shit, I'm
And
crying.
then I completely agree with your point, Maya. This is my mom, Mary Lou, and I would never tell her how to feel. She is
Nah, but you could love your child and not support them getting up on OnlyFans and showing all types of starfishes and stuff. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? I like you could love your child and not want them to get on the media and portray themselves in a certain way. I don't really think love and support have the same meaning. You can't really coincide them. They don't go together.
to her own feelings. And even if she were to feel disappointed with my choices in any matter, I know at the end of the day, feelings pass, and there is a sort of love that always prevails through those feelings.
Yeah, I really agree. I was so disappointed when she chose
Oh
that
shit.
one, but I think it's her life. She has to make a choice. And for us parents, I feel I respect what she wants. But at the same time, I had plans for her for the future, and that because of her choice, it's my plans have been changed drastically. But then I cannot hinder whatever she chooses because it's her life that she makes the choice.
Well,
Okay.
in contrast to what you're saying is that you said that you had plans for your daughter and that her doing OnlyFans was basically going against what your plans were for her. I feel like my choice in doing OnlyFans has allowed me to do what my plans were for myself and what my parents would hope that I did. So I started doing OnlyFans because I thought that it was a good means of creating a following and also, having time freedom, having locational freedom in order because I'm a songwriter. It allowed me to pursue my dreams.
I just gotta say this, bro. These three over here, they look so confused. Like it's like they thinking in their head, like, what has gone on this planet? What is going on right now? What is she talking about?
Versus if I had gone and started doing a 9 to 5, it would have inhibited
How
my
you go from
dreams.
songwriting to popping
I'm
it on
Patty,
OnlyFans?
Maya's mother, and I agree that one can feel disappointed, and I was disappointed originally because I feel my daughter is beautiful, talented, gifted, educated, smart, and she chose, in my mind, low hanging fruit. And I've evolved in my thinking about it. Everyone's
Oh
on their own
shit!
journey in this world,
I'm
and
crying.
if this is her journey, then I need to support her, and I would never disown her or be so
Hey,
disappointed.
a Paris love is crazy, man. That's a special thing, man.
That she would not be in my life. And I'd like to be around to help her make these choices. And OnlyFans is, it's really made me think about why I was disappointed originally. And I think it had a lot to do with my religious upbringing, which,
Yeah.
and my morality.
She talking about her religious upbringing is why she was so disappointed. She thought she was going to hell. She
Around
oh
that,
shit.
and I don't really think that even plays a part in my life, so I'm not really sure why that came up, but it made me understand that it really just doesn't matter. It's your
Yeah.
body, your life.
It took
Her
me a
body,
while
her
to figure out
choice.
that this is her choice. They're very, very devout Catholics, and I'm
Oh,
Asian,
shit.
and we are just, our upbringing is just so strict, and this kind of occupation is shunned by our relatives and everything. So it took me a while to figure out,
That's not just Asian.
Italian.
Italian.
They will ask, what does she do?
Oh,
Whatever,
shit.
I cannot tell them what to do. I just say, she's doing something offline, and that's all I could say. So I think they have learned to keep quiet and kind of respect that this is our life, me and my daughter, and I'm still hopeful that eventually she would choose a better understanding.
It's too late, mama. What you mean eventually? Thousands of people done seen that starfish. You talking about you hope she turned the leaf back. See, they don't know about this. They don't know. Oh shit, I'm crying. They not privy to the internet for real.
The
They
future
still on
would be,
Facebook.
this is good when they're young. As they get
Getting
older,
cranked
they
by
have
AI.
skills and whatever they could do to improve their life. And this kind of lifestyle is not going to hold on. If you plan to have a family, if you plan to have move on with your life, I don't know where this fits.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. The OnlyFans girl's about to be cooked in like a couple years, bro. I mean, you could do whatever you want. Your body, your choice. I couldn't really give a crap. I'm just on the outside looking in. This video had 200,000 views in 2 days. I want to react to it. I do have this it's like something that's coming like over the horizon. I could just see it coming. Like, bro, they got AI chat dolls coming up. They're about to have AI corn, bro. Okay, bro. Like, they're about to have these AIs that could talk to these soy boys in their chairs and shit, and like get them very in tune, fill their every need. These girls won't have to pay these Indian dudes to go do that shit anymore, or something like that. I don't know. I'm just talking shit.
For her future. So that's the reason why I want to make sure that before I leave, that she's settled in such a way that she would be able to take care.
She should make a lot of money.
Sam,
What you
I am
mean?
Sean's bonus mom, and disappointment is a feeling that is not contingent on my love for my daughter. On the coattails of what you're saying, the creators earn a lot of skills through making of the content on OnlyFans that they can use in real life 9-to-5 jobs.
There is.
Yeah, that's what I said. They are cooked. This last stage generation, they are actually cooked. They don't really know for real, like the lengths of like the footprint. You know what I'm saying? The footprints you could put on the internet. They don't know the lengths. They have no idea. They're better off telling them to be like, if you're gonna do this and you're gonna support them, they're better off telling them to be really good with their money and start making their own ventures and stuff like that. That's probably gonna be more profitable than to tell them to try to urge them to get back into society. Like, they have no clue for real, for real.
And I've seen my daughter mature because she was so stubborn when she was young. We separated since she was 18, and she kind of found her own niche, and she found her own self. Now that I'm retired,
Why she just standing back there? Hmm.
I started getting closer to her and said, let's do something different. I will just respect what you want.
We were not close. I did leave the house actually when I was 17.
17.
So we did not have a close relationship when I was growing up. And when she actually found out, we didn't talk for like a year and a half. She was extremely upset. I didn't tell her. She found out. She found one of like my checks in the apartment and looked up everything on the computer and found.
You know the Asians smart. Oh shit, I'm crying, dog. You put that shit on somebody else, white, black, Spanish or something, you might get mad. You see, you put that shit on your Asian mommy, man. Shit. Got the investigator, got the pop, pop, pop on the keyboard. Sheesh.
And was just infuriated.
Oh shit.
And then, obviously, as you're growing, you go through these sort of like canon life events. And she.
Bro, how on earth? Like, that's gotta be like. It's kind of comical. Because this lady did not know nothing about OnlyFans at all. She had no idea that this thing was even possible. She from somewhere in Asia. All she know is work hard, book smart, you become a doctor. All right. And she sees a check, probably a nice fat check. Good. She probably up there. She's still doing OnlyFans. She making a couple thousand at the least, right? And to come to find out what's really going on over there, she had to be like, Lord, I just can't even imagine, because I know how foreigners get. Like, she had to be dramatic as fuck.
Missed a couple because we were not on good terms because of her finding out. I think it really hit her.
Shame.
Missing those moments, and she started making an effort to reach out and spend more time with me, and saw me as more than this potential that she just had for me in her head.
Doctor.
Since I was young.
Well, over time, I mean, one of the biggest changes that happens that I saw with my mother is that my parents both realized that it wasn't just a passing fad. It wasn't a stage that I was going through. It was an edge.
See, that's the thing about I don't know, some cultures, bro, they just let you have some leeway. That's all I'm saying, man, because I know, man, what? My African ass folks, you try some stupid ass, you try something like that, they just might send your ass to Africa, all right? They just might get you up out of here just because put you in some type of school or something, dog. They would have got you, like, oh, shit. They don't ship people out the country for less. Foreigners could get real stern, man.
Decision that I had made, and they realized, okay, I wasn't being manipulated, I wasn't being sex trafficked, I wasn't doing hard drugs and getting addicted and living underneath a bridge somewhere. I had wonderful friends and a wonderful community, and I had a self-made business that I was proud of, and one's own relationship with OnlyFans is really complicated. It's really complicated because in myself, I do feel shame, I do feel disappointment, and it's complicated because in some environments, I feel very proud of who I am. I feel really proud. But in other instances, like, we haven't told our immediate family. We haven't told them at least directly.
Bro, how does this even happen, though, bro? Like, I don't even know, because I'm not going to lie. I support all rights or whatever. Do whatever you want to do, but if I had a daughter, I wouldn't want her to do OnlyFans. I would be against it. I'm just going to be honest. If that's make me some type of name, so be it. I couldn't really care less. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just something. I'm not saying I'm gonna disown them or nothing, but I'd have to get over that. Like, that's something I'd have to, like, you gotta sit with that, man. I'm being real.
And it's and it's difficult. It's difficult
Oh,
because it's
shit.
a shameful environment that you're interacting with.
I'm a little shocked to hear that you're disappointed in yourself.
It's just in some ways. You know, I'm getting older, and I have these dreams of being a songwriter. Part of me is like, is it ever going to happen the longer that I wait? And is this in a way?
Bruh, I'm not gonna lie. The being the songwriter thing is like, you could have been a songwriter without getting on the OnlyFans though. Like, you don't really want to be no songwriter. You just want money. Just be real. Talking about some songwriting.
Which I know is my father's and my mother's biggest fear, is that I'm procrastinating on the thing I want to do the most in the world by doing every single other thing possible, you know? And I do, and I feel a little bit of shame about that, but everybody's relationship with themselves is complicated, no matter what career you're in, you know?
Oh my god. I love to sit.
You talk too much.
I want to start with saying like everyone has a right to like feel disappointed and like have their own opinion on things, but I do think that there's very much a strong difference between like
Shit frying me, because if they made it to the point of like, it's just a little side note, a little ramble, but if they made it to the point of like getting on Jubilee, that means they have some type of notoriety on OnlyFans, right? And these three chicks, I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty mid, bro. Like, the middle one look the best probably, but they're pretty mid, bro. So that means people are shoveling out their hard-earned money, their hard-earned tokens. Oh, it's society, man. Do what you want.
appointment and respect, of course. What we do as like OnlyFans creators, it just is like any other job. Of course,
Like, you could find a girl like one of these chicks, bro. I'm telling you, bro. All you gotta do to find one of these chicks is go to a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's on a weekend. That's it. Or go to the gym. You gonna find better for real.
saying like everyone has a right to.
Cause they not on
feel
OnlyFans. But I'm just saying.
have their own opinion on things.
I was
But
talking
do think
shit.
that there's very much a strong difference between like, disappointment and respect, of course. What we do as like OnlyFans creators, it just is like any other job. Of course, like my mom has a right to feel like disappointed if I chose to like pursue like a job as like a painter or a barista. I just I don't know if like I necessarily like care. you know, like it's my.
At least she real. I fuck with that. If you gonna live it, man, be that shit, man. Don't fake it now. Nah. You was an OnlyFans creator. You get up on that camera, you do your thing. You don't care what they gotta say. I respect that. Don't try to philosophize the shit and try to make me or your parents. I don't really care because I have nothing to do. But try to make your parents feel some type of way for not wanting to endorse it or something. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Be like
She
this
has the right
chick.
to feel however she feels, whether that's like disappointed or proud. I just think that all vocations differ and work is work at the end of the day.
Did you hear what I
Yeah,
said?
she right.
That what I
Yeah.
is not
She right, bro. I can't even knock it.
make
But
Yeah, I know. I know you love me.
like, she.
I think I would reiterate that it is not my job to judge her based on if she's a painter, a barista, or an OnlyFans creator. My job as a parent is to support and love her.
You know, at first when I was disappointed originally, I also
That is true, though. That is true. At a point, your kid you gotta set them out into the world, man. And what come with it, come with it. You still gotta love them, though. So, I guess. Unless they become like Jeffrey Dahmer or something. That's like the grounds where you could be like, yeah, cuz you done brought dishonor to the family name. We done with you. But this,
Gosh, everyone's
you
going to
gotta
think I'm a
let it
terrible
slide. Fuck
parent.
it.
I did not steer her
Oh, shit,
correctly. I
bro.
didn't guide her enough. My job is to
But how's
make
this even
her a
happen?
perfect citizen of the world, and here she chose something that I think a lot of people would say is a little bit
Yeah.
immoral, and
Yes.
it was an
Like, I keep saying, how does this happen? Because they don't look like they came from like rough upbringings. None of these people look like it was rough upbringings or anything like that. It's middle class to upper middle class at the least, right? Between all three of these ladies right here, right? So I'm wondering, how on earth did all three of these chicks end up on OnlyFans? For real, for real. Are we living in like? It's got to be the fact that we're speed running towards a dystopian society. It's a cyberpunk dystopia. A lot of people are getting lazier. They're seeing a lot of people get rich from online endeavors, just like Sophie Rain and all the other sorts of these OnlyFans girls that just come out of nowhere, literally come out of nowhere. And to be totally honest, I couldn't really care less about the OnlyFans girls. I'm more mad about the guys, bro. It disgusts me to spend your hard-earned money. They got free stuff out there. You could just search for hours, free till you go to sleep, and wake up and search some more free shit. And you telling me you're willing to pay some random chick you don't know? That like what? You people crazy.
because I realized that the world is a lot more sensitive to sex than it was.
That's the
50
easiest
years
money
ago,
they could get.
60 years ago when I was little.
You grew up in the 60s. I feel like it'd be different.
I really had to look that there weren't stars, that basically everyone in this field is an amateur and they're making their own business. So I'm proud that she's become a businesswoman, proud that she's making enough.
Quotations, heavy quotations. Man, y'all gotta do better, bro. We gotta start shunning people that's paying for OnlyFans. I'm just saying, bro. You on your goon level is too high. It's too high. You skip past getting more eggs, getting more bacon, more cheese. Shit expensive in that stores, in most stores right now. And you shoveling out tokens. Okay, bro. You don't even get to smell it. That's crazy.
Money to support herself and actually give me, a lot of things that I usually give her, which is kind of nice.
So before, when you first sat down, you said that you can allow your mother to feel, you can understand your mother feeling disappointment, but you don't really care. Do you ever think that that disappointment is justified?
I don't know how to it's a complicated question. You find joy and empowerment from working like a 9 to 5 or living a very conservative lifestyle, full props to you. But I find joy and empowerment,
Wait, hold on, huh?
being a creator and expressing myself authentically and learning more about myself and having creative freedom. So
If your mom, not putting words in your mouth whatsoever, but if she said to you point blank, I'm disappointed in you, would you say that opinion is justified? I just don't care. Is that your opinion of it?
Sean, you did have that experience, didn't you?
I don't know.
I mean, it is justified for a parent to be disappointed in their child. When your parents raise you, you see they have like these things. What's it called? It's slipping my mind. But they see you in a way, right? They think you're gonna be something, and some parents even put their own what they want out of life onto their kids and shit, right? And then they start envisioning stuff for their kids, right? Every parent does this. Every single parent does this, even if they don't want to. They envision their kids growing up, having kids, getting married or falling in love, going to school for the first time, all of these type stuff, right? Going to college, right? And if your kid just says You done envision your kid going to college. You done put money away for your kid to go to college, all types of stuff. Like, it's been a big part of your life, and then they just wake up and they say, I'm not going to college. I don't want nothing to do with that. You have a right to be disappointed. It's not like you don't love your kid anymore, but it's a natural human instinct. It's a natural part of being a human. It comes with life. You can't tell them they don't have a right to feel that way, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they was tossing you around in their arms and literally letting you juggle on they, you know, drink milk and shit.
But do you want to talk
Getting
about your
breastfed.
negative experience with a parent?
I've had a very negative experience with my dad. I wouldn't say like it was as negative as it could have been, but he worries about like my safety, and like there are plenty of other things that he'd rather me be doing. Like, he knows at the end of the day that it's my life and that he's mostly worried about my safety. But I do think that there's some judgment there, and like, sure, maybe it's justified, but I want my parents to be proud of me, of course, but I don't like need them to be. Like, as long as I'm happy.
Creating adult content online is a form of empowerment.
I respect her, though. I'm not gonna lie. Because if you go out to OnlyFans, have that attitude. Because if you do, can't nobody say shit. I can't say shit. She owned it up. She said if they are disappointed, it come with it. Who really cares? I would want them to be proud of me. It's the life I lived. I walked this path. She basically said it come with the life. Like, shit, what can you even say?
Not exploitation.
I agree.
I'm Kirsten, Sean's bonus mom, and
Wait,
I
what
will
did they say?
I'm happy.
Creating adult content online is a form of empowerment, not exploitation.
I agree.
Hey, they are cooked. Let's get to it. What the fuck?
I'm Kirsten, Sean's bonus.
Bro, it's only empowerment when you're getting the type money that these three chicks are getting, bro. Like, what? It's not empowerment when you're that regular chicken in the county or in the town, whatever, and you can go hop on OnlyFans, show your starfish to the 12 creepy dudes in the zip code and shit, right? And you don't become famous. You just rack up like $50 that month or some shit like that. But OnlyFans got something, or OnlyFans gained more off that shit. Or it's how you look at it. There's levels to this stuff. On certain levels, it is pretty exploitative to me, if that's even a word. I don't know.
And I will say that it is completely empowerment, as you get to choose what you create and what you do with that and who you do it with.
I mean, I love to hear that you think it's empowerment. I think that, like, I get to creatively express myself and feel positive about like my body image, and I think like for plenty of like OnlyFans creators, it helps their body image and their feelings like around themselves and self-confidence, and it's not the case for everybody, but I think that we as creators have like autonomy over like their brand and our image and like what we put out and like how we market ourselves, and we have like a flexible schedule, so there's a lot of like empowerment there, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
I totally disagree. Actually, the only reason I stepped up is because I actually don't think that it's a form of empowerment, but I do think that it is in specific case scenarios. So
Exactly what I said at the beginning, bro. Because most of the people, the guppies at the bottom, they're getting exploited. OnlyFans for sure is a recurring, racking up more money on the fees that they acquire off those little amount of subscriptions that they have, right? They're for sure getting way more money off those fees that they're taking out. Like how eBay gets a lot of money out of the fees it takes out from small time business people from eBay, right? But the people at the top, they're gonna eat. So of course these three, they're at the top of, I don't know who they are, but they must be pretty affluent. So they're obviously gonna feel empowered, but like shit, come on now.
That overall, women have been oppressed for so long. So to be able to own a business, to be able to earn income, to be able to profit on something that's existed and will continue to exist. So I think that it's a wonderful way for women to get out of toxic relationships, abusive, like work environments, sex trafficking. I think that to create your own career is empowerment, but we are operating under a misogynistic system. And I don't consider myself the antagonist of it. I'm not being like, oh, let's feed the men. But I also know that I am operating under a system of people objectifying women, and I am profiting off of it. And so it's both. It's this double-edged sword. Because, getting into the nitty-gritty, you get a custom from a person, and you have to do whatever this person's saying. And I sometimes look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I get mad. I'm like, I have to just do this thing that this guy's telling me to do for money?
But you don't.
But
Isn't that the guy?
Oh my gosh. And she over here getting flustered about that. That's not even, girl, you're not even doing the real job. You're not even getting your foot dirty for real. Like, what you mean? You are behind the screen. I blame these guys for spending Lord knows how much money to talk to some chick on the webcam. Okay? You guys are like, the guys who do this, bruh, I just don't know, bruh. I don't know. It's bad for you though, bruh. It's bad, bro.
OnlyFans that you get to pick and choose, and you get to tell them to fuck off and move on to the
But
next
then you also have to make
person.
money. You're also getting money.
I would say I lean towards the dom side with what I do. I say no to many things because if I'm not comfortable doing it, then it's not going to feel good and it's not going to feel
Bro, and then, bro, y'all really paying for this, bro? I'm not gonna hold you, bruh. Like, for real, bruh? I mean, I don't understand paying to watch any girl on the webcam. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shit. I just can't on the webcam. But if you are gonna watch some shit on the webcam, at least let it be bad. Like, let her be something fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's pretty chubby, bro. I'm just saying. Really chubby, actually.
I'm not going to want to keep doing it. Part of the reason I enjoy this and I've been able to do it for as long as I have is having healthy boundaries, which is hard to maintain with what we do, is the hard no's. What are you okay with? What are you not okay with? Because at the end of the day, we do have to live with ourselves and knowing what we do. And I think that's where the sort of shame comes in or can creep in. And I never want to feel ashamed because there's already so
Bruh. Mental gymnastics. Mental gymnastics, dog.
Self-esteem had grown
What?
better. She's more open, she's more verbal. Working in this kind of environment has made her a better person than I expected. And it is giving her more empowering in terms of her being able to control what she can do.
I think that's very
She just get more money, mama. It's just more money. She probably a little bit more confident too, due to her getting more money, which isn't a negative.
I think that I definitely have, like we discussed earlier, more boundaries. I'm very outspoken about my boundaries and what I will and won't tolerate.
Well, Sean, you have a great example of a hard no.
Yeah, I've been asked to take a shit on my phone. And
I think we all have.
It's horrible.
People are weird.
It's sadly not as crazy as it gets.
but going back to what you said about shame and patriarchy and the systems we live under, I think that it creates OnlyFans creates an inclusive and safe space for not just women. It creates
I gotta say it again. I blame the guys, bro. You paying some chick to caca to take a shit on her phone, bro. Bro, like they need to just make a place, right, for people that do stuff like this. Just send them off into like an island or something. We don't need this stuff into like the next generation. We need to call it while we can for real, for real. Because when we head into this cyberpunk dystopia, these are gonna be the guys that they're not gonna go outside. They're not gonna go outside. They're gonna have their helmet on. Their room is gonna have all types of stains and all types of weird aromas. I'm telling you.
Space for a lot of people that like, where a 9 to 5 isn't necessarily an option. Trans folk and like houseless folk and disabled folk, like people with autism and people under the spectrum, and like it can be for everybody. And like I feel more of a sense of shame sometimes at a 9 to 5, as opposed to like what we do. Like I have autonomy.
Bruh. Shawty just said she feel more shameful checking into a 9 to 5 than doing OnlyFans. Oh my gosh, what's going on in the world, bro? What? So it's just the money thing. They keep at this. Why I says mental gymnastics, right? Because they keep saying all these big words and stuff to just really say it's all about the money. That's what all I'm gathering it from it. I don't know though.
Over what I do, and I have
Because you're
control
making
over
less
that,
at the
and,
fast
like,
food or the 9 to
that's my
5
piece.
that she's making at OnlyFans.
I disagreed because I don't think this work is ever empowering.
Exactly.
I just don't. I think it's a false empowerment that happens. Yes, you're doing your own business. Yes, you're doing that, but it's sort of like that old adage of
She knows she think the same way too. The only thing she happy about is you making money. You making money, honey. They all probably feel the same way. The thing about parents though, that love is real, bro. Like it's real.
the stripper thinking she's more superior than the guys. It's just not.
For your
To me, I just don't think that's
Nah, these girls are more superior than the guys that are paying for this crap. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta give them that. 10,000% more superior. You mean to tell me this chick set up a webcam and some dude with doo-doo draws is over here paying God knows how much money? Like these the type chicks that had Larry Wheels shoveling out thousands of dollars. Mm-mm. Skid mark niggas.
you're at someone's mercy. I've been to so many countries where women are oppressed and they have no idea they're oppressed. I was in Pakistan a long time ago and I was staying with
Oh,
a
she
family
does see
there,
some shit.
and all the women in the house were like, I'm so happy I don't have to go out to work. All I have to do is tell my husband to bring home this amount of money, and I get to stay home and make food. And I'm thinking, you have no idea that they're keeping you in the house. They're not letting you work even if you wanted to.
Oh,
They
yeah,
had no
you're right.
clue
Yeah.
that they were oppressed, but they felt empowered.
They felt
empowered. No, they weren't happy.
I mean-
they hated cooking all the time and thinking about food and knitting and whatever. But they really felt empowered. And I think it's the same with when you do this kind of work. You feel empowered because you're the one deciding, you're the one running your business, you're the one taking in money. But at the end of the day, it's for someone else's, I can't say exploitation necessarily, but exploitation. Yeah.
Like I thought the whole point of like the feminist movement and thing was to like get women into like the workforce to make it so you could be equal or like equivalent to like men in like medical fields, all types of stuff like that, right? We're at the point where they're surpassing men, right? They're surpassing men. So in almost every field that's not labor intensive, where you don't have to do physical manual labor, women are almost surpassing men, right? Probably not doctors. I don't know, but or like tech, but other things like probably lawyers and things like that. Women are probably gonna take the lead in those fields. So you mean to tell me this is probably peak feminism right here? Like this is probably the peak, right? We're probably at that right now. And you're telling me that this is what's empowering the OnlyFans shit? We're at the peak feminism. Like we have women literally in some cities in America making more than men that don't get on the internet and show their starfish, right? And they wouldn't want to do that even if you paid them to, right? But these three chicks are over here trying to say that this is empowerment. I don't know though. I don't know. I don't think so. Something don't feel right either.
Say it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So your job is like that.
My
You
job,
do
I'm
like
exploited?
all the accounting and everything. And you're just basically a henchman for other people.
Yeah, because
in some way, we're all henchmen for
Yeah,
others.
businesses are at the whim of the customers at the end of the day.
Like, we live in a
Without
capitalist-
customers, there's no
You sell
businesses.
shoes, you're at the whim of the
That's how-
shoe buyer.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're all, and it's not, the only difference is that we're being exploited sexually versus as a vendor, as for objects, right?
I don't feel exploited because I'm compensated handsomely. I don't have to do anything with my body. It's all my brain.
If you wanted to do something with your body, if you, so say for example, right, it's hard to imagine, but say you're like, oh, like this would be fun, like I would like to do that. And just the same, you're like, oh, it's all my brain because you don't want it.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I think the average woman doesn't want the world to see their starfish. I'm just saying. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. The average, even your most rambunctious chick that likes to go on the night walk and do twerk in the club and dance on the table and jump on top of the hill, she probably don't want 20,000 cornballs to see her starfish. I'm just saying.
Things with your body, but if you had wanted to do things with your body, then you'd think that was empowerment just the same.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm a therapist, and then my boss would tell me to do this because insurance will pay for us. I feel very exploited because I'm not using the skills I know. But then because we are service-oriented and we have to work on it, we find different ways of going around it in order to be able to get paid by insurance. So we find
And that's
different
exactly
ways.
what you were saying. It's
Different
All
ways.
businesses are at the whim
All
of
There's
this. Like,
still
I
exploiting
mean,
me.
at least we have a
My
choice.
skills,
I mean,
yeah.
we get to choose. I'm sure there's days where you're working and you don't want to use your brain. Maybe you're a little burnt out. We all have days where we feel like maybe a little.
Bro, she remind me of that girl from Euphoria. Like the chick with like her body was mid, and then she made like the OnlyFans, and like she ended up popping. I forgot what that shit was. I watched the first season of that crap. I couldn't finish it, but I do remember some shit like that happening. She reminds me of that very much. So y'all really paying for this, bro? For real, bro? Bruh. Paying?
Out, but you still have to use your brain. And some days we push through and we use our body.
So maybe we should talk about what exploit means. What's the difference between being exploited and being a good customer service person?
It's who receives
Or,
more.
Like who receives more?
Is it like more of like a power imbalance? Would you agree?
Power, and there's a lot of different ways of being exploited. It can be money, it can be power, it can be your autonomy, it can be your rights, it can be your time, it can be a lot of different things.
Girl, y'all getting exploited. They got y'all. They have leaks of y'all probably. I don't know your names, but somewhere on this internet you've been recorded, screen recorded, and they got you on camera. I'm telling you. They got you on camera, honey. I know it.
But the exploitation comes when one receives more than the other. And the thing is that with OnlyFans, you don't really know which side is receiving more because, yeah, we're making an income, but excuse my profanity, getting their nut. Which is worth more? Because one is monetary and one is sexual. And, sometimes people
Well,
on
who's the
OnlyFans
exploiter? Is it your customer or is it OnlyFans?
both.
Yeah.
We both exploit each other. And a lot of men will come into my comments and be like, oh, you're just exploiting men for money. And then a lot of people come
Exploiting men for
oh,
money.
absolutely. I get so many comments. I don't know if you guys get that comment. I get
Them boys exploit themselves, man. They got free access to all types of stuff, and they still chose this route. They're exploiting themselves, bruh. I do not feel bad for them. They are the pawn in the system, that the cog in the system that has to get turned. It is what it is.
Yet they're in your DMs.
and then a lot of people saying, oh, men are just exploiting you for your body. And I'm like, they're two different currencies. How can you compare them? And I don't know.
Yeah.
Platforms like
And they're not even doing that because they're not touching her. How are they exploiting her for her body? They don't even get to touch her. Like, if it gets spun like that, the mental gymnastics is crazy. Some dweeb in some corner in Seattle, next to, like, in his 2x4 box, right? Den room. How is he exploiting her? He done paid this chick probably, well, how many hundreds? Exploiting her? He exploiting himself.
fans have normalized unhealthy attitudes towards sex and intimacy.
I don't know. I don't agree with that.
So I'm the only one up here, which is interesting. I don't know what my experience with OnlyFans is compared to everybody else's. I think that it can be something that, it's a chicken and the egg, that you don't really know what comes first. Somebody's weird relationship with sex and intimacy, and that allowed them to kind of drop their inhibitions and be able to do OnlyFans. Or maybe they started doing OnlyFans and they developed issues with sexual intimacy, or maybe OnlyFans exacerbated issues that they previously had. I don't know. But I just know that in the world, there's a lot of women who've experienced sexual trauma, myself included, and that I was able to do OnlyFans because a part of me was cut off from being very emotionally involved with it. And so it was almost a dissociation method, and that's how I was able to do it in the first place.
Mental gymnastics.
I also know a lot of women in the industry who have experienced sexual trauma and are able to do it because they're able to kind of shut off that part of their brain. And I'm not saying that's for every single person.
I don't think this is a good one. I'm not gonna lie. These two women right here probably have experienced some type of trauma in that sense, and they're not doing that. I'm just saying. Shit.
There's times when I think to myself, maybe this isn't healthy for me. And I wonder if maybe, it's just exacerbating something that I need to work on. But at the end of the day, I don't just, look at OnlyFans and say, that's the cause, that's the reason. I think that there are a lot of ways people operate underneath it. And there are going to be a lot of people who are damaged by it and a lot of people who aren't. And how one person interacts with it is going to be completely different from another person. And so I think it's only for oneself to see when they've reached their limit of when they need to stop. And I've known a lot of creators, both in the mainstream world and the OnlyFans world, who have stopped because they couldn't take it anymore, because it became damaging to them, and they couldn't do it anymore.
So proud of you. I think the OnlyFans, not just OnlyFans, but the porn industry has become way more common. It's just so.
Corn has ruined society. I'll say that much. Well, I won't say it ruined society. It has made things. It's made people less outgoing, to say the least. It's made people more inclusive, more paranoid. it makes them less in tune with reality, and this is a fact. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, I don't think it's something that's like OnlyFans though. Corn and OnlyFans is two different things. Corn is free, so I can't really attribute it to OnlyFans. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they're run concurrently. They're not parallel, even though they're very similar. But I feel like once a dude is in the rabbit hole, like deep in them trenches of buying OnlyFans subscriptions, I think that's unhealthy lifestyle. I really do. I think you're deep in them trenches, man. If you paying for OnlyFans, I think I think that's not good living. I'm not knocking the girls for getting that OnlyFans money because it's the freest, easiest form of money you could do if you're going to be prolific at it. If you're gonna make money, that's the easiest money they could get. They don't even get it. You don't. They don't even get touched, bro. You don't even touch them. You don't even like nothing. Like it's like you get nothing out of it. So for the dudes that do it, I do think that's very unhealthy. This is something that's never happened before in human history, bro. Never before in human history have you ever had a group of guys pay to see some girl body parts on a black mirror, and it's never happened before. So we are living, and we will see the ramifications of this shit live. We will see it.
And so there all the time.
And they paying
and I
for
think
this.
A lot of it has
This, bro.
found a place
Bruh.
in a normal way in normal relationships.
I think
So I kind of agree.
I think that the difference between what I'm saying and how you're saying, oh, it creeps its way into normal relationships, I feel a desensitivity towards sex. I lost my virginity to a non-consensual situation, and that wasn't what I wanted. And so it kind of, a lot of people, when in the face of sexual trauma, turn around and they become very avoidant to sex, avoidant to physical touch. And there's also the other coin, the other side of the coin, where you become hypersexual and you become, and the two ways of thinking about it, right, are that was really traumatizing to me. I don't ever want to feel that again, right? And okay, let's negate that happened and let's make that not an important event. And I went on the more hypersexual side. I just kind of lost a lot of inhibitions. My brain didn't fully shut off. It's just my value system changed. And that allowed me to be able to do sex work. And that desensitivity is okay sometimes, but I also don't always know that it's healthy. And in normal relationships, there's not that desensitivity, I don't think.
You're probably disassociating to protect yourself because of the abuse you went through.
Maybe. It's also just something I was able to do it, I think, because of those experiences. And over time, I've become more avoidant, and it's become more difficult to do work sometimes because I don't feel very sexual. A lot of it is based on trauma for me. So
I'm sorry you
That
went through
experience.
that, but I can relate.
yeah, I mean, everybody's experiences are different. And I'm not saying that you need trauma to be able to do this work. And I'm not saying that you should get some trauma if you want to do this work. That's probably not what you should do. But I think that it takes a level, it takes an ability to
I
do
think
this
that's
work.
probably true, but I also think that non-consensual.
I don't know. They got like stories of like chicks that like went through like some traumatic events, like how this lady's describing or something like that, and then they go out to become like authors or stuff like that. I don't know. I find that like more empowering than like becoming an OnlyFans model. I'm just saying. I don't know though.
That happens a lot to women in this world, whether they go into OnlyFans or not. I certainly didn't go into OnlyFans, and it's happened to me. I lost
See, I just said that like 5 minutes ago. When I seen all three of them lined up, I say these ladies most likely went through, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. 90% of women probably go through like it's fucked up. It's a fucked up world we live in. But like my statistics might be all way off. But in my thought process, in my head, I think at minimum, bro, 90% of women have been through some type of something weird or traumatic that had to do with them in that manner. Okay, something weird or some 90. I'm not saying they got abused or anything like that, but something triggered their hairs to stand up or make them feel weird or like off-putting. It just happens to them most of the time. Sad, it's not good, but 90% of them don't end up becoming OnlyFans models or stuff like that. It just doesn't happen.
My virginity to a non-consensual relationship when I was 17, and
Yeah, that's really bad. Mother and daughter to get like is really bad. But when I was saying the 90%, I was saying like the stuff I'm talking about is like the trauma I'm talking about is like they probably get like, I don't know, somebody might touch them on the butt or rub their shoulders a way they don't like, or like a weird stare, cat call. I'm talking about those type of stuff. I'm not really talking about like these type of heinous acts. I'm not really talking about that.
was it actually wasn't traumatic because then he was my boyfriend, and there was no such thing as that back then. It wasn't stranger. It wasn't stranger. Right? So I didn't know what to do with it, but it did affect me and my relationships with men, and I did have a promiscuous side for a while, and then I went celibate for a while. So I don't know. It really is. It's terrible. We sound so dysfunctional.
Hey, bro, she just had a little flashback memories, dude. That smile came from the heart. Oh, Lord.
But I think we're probably more normal.
Thank you for sharing. That was very like vulnerable, and thank you so much for like sharing that. That was
Probably more normal than I unfortunately. So.
I agree with you. And like from a standpoint of also having been assaulted more than once, like I also don't know a lot of people that like haven't been, and I don't think that's why I found myself like doing this type of work. I do think like I'm hypersexual as a result. I just think
I just can't really attribute. I can't really I don't know, cause I'm not a girl, but I know there's a lot of girls that aren't hyposexual. But then again, who knows? Who knows, bro?
there's a lot more to that conversation in terms of like anything can be like, you can be desensitized to anything. And I don't know if it's OnlyFans that's like desensitizing people to sex necessarily.
Even the movies and the way they do things now, more geared to sex. So the idea of having sex is desensitized already because of media.
I agree, Mama. I don't think it's inherently like OnlyFans.
OnlyFans is really
No, it's so
the
prevalent in
media,
our
the media.
society. I think when you take OnlyFans, I think it's a way, going back to the empowerment thing, is to take control of it. Like I didn't have an OnlyFans. I went through like years of putting myself through more abuse. You know, I didn't have the control to say, okay, well, I'm going to make money from this and I'm going to control the situation. Maybe
That didn't exist back then. It just did exist back then, and sadly, there's a lot of girls that probably went through worse than these chicks. I wouldn't even say a lot, but there's some girls that went through worse than these chicks, right? And they went to go make OnlyFans. I know that this is for sure a real story. I can't bring it up for you, but they went to go make OnlyFans and it did not take off. Nobody cared for it. They had a few little hundred subscribers or something like that, right? And now their starfish is just out on the webs, the interwebs, forever. Their starfish done made it to the hub. They didn't even know. So, take this and do what you will, for real. You can do what you want. As you are the owner of your life, you know what I'm saying? You do whatever you want in this life. You get what you want out of it. But I'm going to leave this at here, 30 minutes in. We could finish it up another time. I'm about to watch this Norway versus motherfucking Brazil. I don't know. Brazil might win. But love, dog. I'm gonna see y'all.